Hello, Brother Nash. How are you? Can you please post my own story? It's anonymous. I'm a young South African woman who is aged 27 years old. I don't have a child. I don't know if I'll ever have a child or not, but it is my wish that one day I will have a child. But what tells me a lot is that I once carried 2 pregnancies and I aborted them first. When I fell pregnant, I was in grade 11. I was dating my school teacher and he was the one who took away my virginity, and I fell pregnant for him. He had even told me to take some contraceptive pills so that I won't fall pregnant for him. But you know, when you are young, you have this vision of a good life of true love. That is what I had in mind, and I did not even realize that when a man is married, it is not an easy thing. No matter how much he claims to love you, it's not easy for him to abandon his wife. The pressure that was there between him and his wife was that the wife was a stubborn woman. She was a professional. She was working, and he claimed that she was very stubborn and could not listen to him. Under no circumstances will she ever listen to him, no matter what. That was the reason as to why he had proposed love to me. I then said, okay, it is fine. Since you have proposed love to me, then how about I become your wife? And he gave me this fairy tale dream that we were going to be together for the rest of our lives, and that life was going to be perfect. In the meantime, he told me to abandon any thoughts of wanting to fall pregnant for him. But anyway, I did fall pregnant for him because I thought that this was going to be perfect. So I fell in love with my high school teacher, fell pregnant for him, had a baby together, get married, have a beautiful home. That was my dream. I did not even know that the house that they were staying even belonged to the wife, since she was the one earning more. The day when I told him, I was so excited that I had fallen pregnant for him, he became cold towards me. He refused to keep on dating me. He gave me money to have the abortion. He even literally forced me. Later on in life, I realized that it was the only evidence that he had would show that he was sleeping with a minor, and he wanted that evidence to be removed because I was still underage. Because I had this idea of true love, I kept on returning back to him. He would sleep with me and then he would blame me, saying that I was the one who was forcing myself on him. And because of that, I got depressed. I started going out with friends, clubbing, drinking, until the time when I met another girl who told me that she was dating strictly no South African guys, but only foreigners, because most of them, when they come here, they find it hard to get a woman. So if you're a South African and you become like their girlfriend, they'll do anything for you. You just pretend like you are a woman who does not love money, but at the same time you demand money. She taught me everything. And then I started dating my first guy, who was way older than I was. He was a Nigerian pastor. He was not a famous pastor. He had just came to South Africa. They came here. They had their own mission that they had. There were some crusades that they were attending to. So I then met him. I was even surprised when he told me that he was a pastor, because we met in a club, a VIP club. He was drinking alcohol. So when it came time for us to ask each other of what type of work we did, he then just told me that he is a pastor. As for me, I said I don't have anything as such that I do now. He then told me that he was a pastor, and I asked him, a pastor in the club? He then told me, why not? He told me being a pastor is like a job. He gets paid and he has the right to enjoy himself. For it is not easy to convince someone to believe in things that do not exist. To believe that if you give money to the church, you are going to get a great offer, a great sacrifice. After you had offered your sacrifice, then you are going to make a lot of money. It takes a lot of convincing, he told me. So me and this guy, we started sleeping together. I introduced him to my parents. He would give me money, but it was quite a challenge. That is how I started dating guys from Zim, because This guy, he would give me money in US dollars. I could not even understand how it works. Someone gives you US dollars, then you go. You find someone who can change that money for you so that you can get your money in South African rands. So some guy told me that at the bus station in Bosman, that is where I could get guys that can help me out. So I then became friends with another guy who connected me to a richer blesser that was from Zim. He was the second guy that I fell pregnant for, and the one that I think destroyed my womb. This guy, he owned 2 taxis. He came here and he got married to a South African woman and he started making his money. So because I was forever going to him to change money, we then started dating. He asked me where I was getting all this money from, and then I told him that I was dating a Nigerian pastor. He said, "Yo, why do you keep dating these guys? One day they are going to have you traffic drugs." Then he proposed to me, and I said it's far much better to date a guy from Zimbabwe. It is much safer than to date a guy from this Nigeria who will end up having me trafficking drugs. So me and this guy, we dated. I went with him to a traditional healer twice. First time around, I think he was initiating me. We went to this other healer. He told me that his taxi was causing him a lot of problems and he was always pouring money into that business of his. So he wanted someone to assist him. We went to a healer. I was with him throughout the process. He was even given charms. I was also told to bath using these charms. Fast forward, when we returned back to South Africa, that was when he informed me that he had decided that we needed to return back to his country. We went there, and this time around, when we went to Zim, that was when I realized that this guy, he was there to sort of like use me, but he was giving me money. He went with me to his country when I was on my period, like he had told me each and every time when I use another sanitary pad, I then give him this used sanitary pad. I don't know what they were doing with that, and then I started to feel severe cramps. I went to the hospital. I was told that my womb had an infection. I was given some medicine, but it did not help. I drank a lot of antibiotics until the doctor said it is far much better for my body to heal itself. Otherwise, it was going to be very terrible for me if I keep on drinking these antibiotics. The moment I told this guy that my womb was hurting and it had a severe infection and I was having a green discharge, he started ignoring me until this very day. I'm still living my life as a slay queen. Basically, I make sure that I only sleep with a man at night when the man is drunk because I have this discharge that comes out. It is green, like totally green in color. Even if I put a panty liner, it can only last me for about 2 hours. It will be soaking wet, and when I remove it, it will be green. And then there will be this smell. It does not always come out. Sometimes it does, but sometimes it doesn't. I have tried to use vaginal soaps and bathing salts, thinking that it can help me, but it is not helping. So I need advice. There is this guy from Zim. I don't know if he's a sangoma or what, but he also uses the Bible when he is assisting you as well as consulting with your ancestors. So this is what he told me. He said that since he is someone that is powerful, if I sleep with him, then this discharge will stop. Then we can start to work from there. So I don't know. Is this something that you can advise me, Brother Nash, to sleep with this man or not?